Welcome or welcome back to Wide Gaming. How was everybody doing today? Hopefully you were all good. We are here with something very spicy, and that is, it's been a long time coming. It's a Survive the Nights update. This one is absolutely insane. They have gone through a whole host of stuff. It's amazing. They've got a full interaction overhaul. We've now got crafted storage, door fortifications, a whole host more. Absolutely insane. Now, if you did see the last Survive the Nights video, then you will know that what they are doing now is rather than a monthly update schedule, there's going to be bigger updates, more spaced out. We don't have a actual time limit, whether there's going to be 3, 4 a year, or whether it's just going to be 1 or 2 big ones a year. But let's jump in and see what they have to say. Throughout the video, you'll be able to see the actual update in the background, alongside screenshots from the dev letter that we'll be going through. Now, it has been 2 months since our last update, and we've been hard at work on 1.18. This update is now our default branch, and it features quite a few fixes, changes, and improvements. We'll go over some of them at the update below. Just be sure to check out the changelog for a full list that you can test against. If you do find any issues, please report them in-game using the F1 menu. Our interaction overhaul. Since our public alpha release in 2019, we've been improving and redesigning UI and method of interaction. 1.18 features the right-click menu. For some time now, interacting with objects in the game that require parts or fuel, as an example, was rather cumbersome. The new system does allow players to interact directly with the object, rather than having to interact with another pop-up booklet-style menu. The simple system feels right, like it's always been there. The system has quite a few benefits. It removes constant confusion over what holding E does. Right-clicking feels a lot more natural and is more consistent across all interactable objects in the game. The system provides quicker accesses to interactions with items, like instant equipping of weapons without having to first pick them up. The UI is much cleaner for machines, and you can instantly tell what parts are where and what parts need adding. The interactions that have been added to the right-click menu are the interact with generators, vehicles, fires, breakers, meters, traps, lights, and locks. Place, equip weapons, consume food and medical items, repair vehicles, open locks, place locks, eat portions, add items, remove home, and open placed craft container. The system feels way more fluid to us, and we think you'll love it just the same as we do. It continues our ongoing UI and interaction improvements, and this is something that we will see more work as we move forward. Next up, we have door fortifications and general improvements. To say this has been a long time coming is an understatement. Fortifications are playing a bigger role in the game now, and you have all requested this feature since we introduced window fortifications. It's not possible to fortify any residential door in the game. The player can still lock doors, but as an added and more easily achievable fortification, quickly planking a door provides another layer of protection. The fortification isn't just limited to planks. It currently covers a window if it will work on a door. Okay, that's cool. So everything that we could put on windows at the moment, we could put on doors. Nice, I like that. But we have intentionally left out commercial doors as to not create an awkward situation. See, I get that. Same as the reason they introduced not putting locks on POIs and things like that. So if you are playing in sort of a PvP server, that way people can't block loads of different entrances to commercial buildings. They'll only be able to fully fortify their own home. So if you do want to raid someone's house, that does make it very complicated. But if you do have someone holed up in a shop or something like that, then obviously they can escape and... very sorry, you can't barricade their exits and stuff like that. So it gives players a fighting chance rather than being able to barricade people in or completely lock down a situation. Along with the addition of door fortifications, we have made other improvements to doors. The animation that plays when doors operate has been sped up. Doors open and close much faster, creating a far better player experience when moving through them. Players will auto notice fortifications placed take slightly less damage than fortifications they don't own. This should help players shooting through their own fortifications whilst defending the structure. Weapons now take less wear when also damaging fortifications, even when not owned by the player. This is just a bit out of hand in previous builds, and we've taken care of it now. Hammers now also do double the damage to fortifications when they're owned by the player, and this will allow player to quickly remove fortifications they've placed using the hammer. Something that has been needed for such a long time in Survive the Nights, and that is vehicle improvements. We've worked on vehicle issues for this update, and the improvements should be very noticeable. Players no longer occasionally teleport off to another universe when stepping out of a vehicle, so that's nice. That's very nice, you know. Getting out of your car and being flung halfway across the map was never fun. But vehicles should also not glitch and freak out when the player exits them. Vehicles now roll for a little bit of a longer period of time when the player steps out, and the cricket, which is the little hatchback, shouldn't roll onto its roof so easily anymore, along with other improvements. The big change here is the improvement to vehicle physics. The system now maintains vehicles after a driver steps out. This leads to improved vehicle physics, and the entire system should feel far more polished. There will no doubt still be a few issues, but if you do find anything, please report them with the in-game F1 menu. Then general improvements. There are a good amount of big changes in the update, but those aren't the only changes you'll find in 1.18. We've done a good deal of adjusting, fixing, and tinkering to improve the all-round game experience. Another one of those things that they have improved is simple traps. You know, the little ones, like the bear trap, the shotgun trap, things that people didn't really use very often. Now, we have worked on improving the interactions with traps and trap issues themselves. As an example, the bear trap no longer deactivates when placing it down. It also won't play the animation when first placing it. In addition, colliders have been tweaked to make it easier to place things on uneven terrain and closer to walls or objects. Server optimization. We spent time during this dev cycle. There have been over 30,000 objects removed from the server. Objects that are no longer needed. Most of these were unused collision objects that were bogging servers down. Placement and navigation improvements. The world left behind isn't a pretty one. There's quite a lot of trash around, and sometimes these piles have caused the player grief, and we've taken steps to address the issues. While they do make for a nice backdrop and add to the overall ambience, the trash piles can make placing objects and navigating around difficult at times. The team has adjusted the colliders and adjusted some of these models to make things easier to navigate the environments. In addition to objects like the trash, we've tweaked issues on AI models. The player is now able to place items inside of zombies or passive AI ragdolls. There's no need to wait for the bodies to disappear. There's also been a fix of the issue where AI sometimes won't ragdoll on death. Now that is something definitely needed, because especially during like a horde night when you're trying to place down a trap and things like that, and the dead zombies are just piling up around you, it just creates a hell of a problem. So it's nice that they've done that. I'm glad that that's fixed. So for today, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it from the main bulk. That is a massive load of bug fixes and quality of life issues that have been addressed in the patch notes. So if you do want to check them out, head over to their Steam page. The link is in the description down below, and have a look there. There's loads of funky stuff there. Just basically a long list of random little bits that they fixed. Things that some other people might not have even noticed. But, you know, things like floating, clipping, random little bits like that. So if you are interested in those little bits, head over to their Steam page. Have a little bit of a look at that. And also, if you are enjoying the game and you haven't left a review, please go and do so. It does help the team out. They're only small, and the more help that they can get with things like that, the better off the game will become. So, you know, do that. And if you haven't checked out Survive the Nights, there's loads of sales going on most of the time. So definitely keep your eye out on Steam. Wishlist the game, and when there is a sale, they will obviously let you know. For today, though, I've been Wired. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we will see you very soon with some more Survive the Nights.